What if I told you that the canned foods sitting in your pantry right now could outlast their expiration dates by years, and might be the key to getting through any emergency without eating like you're surviving the apocalypse? In this video, you'll discover which canned foods are actually worth storing, how to build a pantry that tastes good during tough times, and the critical mistakes that could leave you with a stockpile of food nobody wants to eat. Stay until the end to learn the rotation system that prevents waste and keeps your emergency food fresh. Welcome to Essential Pantry, where we make food preparedness practical, not paranoid. If you're ready to build a pantry that works for real life, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our storage strategies. Let's start with something most people don't realize about canned foods. Those expiration dates printed on the cans, they're not actually telling you when the food goes bad. They're guidelines for peak quality. And the truth is, many canned goods remain perfectly safe and tasty for years beyond those dates. This is one of the biggest advantages of canned foods for emergency preparedness. They're incredibly long-lasting. But here's the catch. Not all cans are created equal when it comes to safety. You need to inspect your canned goods regularly, and I mean really look at them. Check for dents, cracks, rust, or broken seals. Any of these issues can compromise the food inside and potentially make you sick. If you find a damaged can, you have two choices. Use it immediately if it's still safe, or toss it out. Don't take chances with your health. Now, having long-lasting food is great, but only if you actually use it before it loses quality. This is where most people's food storage plans fall apart. They buy a bunch of cans, shove them in a cabinet, and forget about them until they're digging through expired food 5 years later. There's a better way, and it's simpler than you think. It's called the first in, first out system, and it's the secret to keeping your pantry fresh without wasting money. Here's how it works. Every time you buy new canned goods, place them at the back of your shelf. The older cans should always be at the front where you can see them and grab them first. This way, you're constantly cycling through your stock, using up items before they lose quality. It takes about 30 seconds of extra effort when you're putting groceries away, but it saves you from throwing away expired food and wasting your hard-earned money. But here's the most important rule of food storage, and I cannot stress this enough. Store what you actually eat. Not what some prepper blog told you to buy, not what's on sale, not what sounds good in theory. Store the foods you and your family genuinely enjoy eating. Think about it. If disaster strikes or you lose your job, you're already stressed. The last thing you need is to open your pantry and realize you're stuck eating foods you can't stand. I've seen people stockpile cases of canned sardines because someone said they were nutritious, even though nobody in their household likes sardines. That's not preparedness, that's just wasting money in cabinet space. Before you commit to buying a case of something, try it first. Pick up a single can, take it home, and see if your family actually eats it. If it's a hit, great, add it to your rotation. If it sits in your pantry untouched for 3 months, that's your answer. Move on to something else. Now let's talk about what actually deserves a spot in your pantry. Canned meats are absolute protein powerhouses, and they should be the foundation of your food storage plan. Ham, turkey, salmon, and tuna are all excellent choices that last for years and can be used in countless dishes. Canned tuna, especially the quality albacore varieties you can find at stores like Costco, is incredibly versatile. You can make tuna salad, add it to pasta, throw it in a casserole, or just eat it straight from the can if you're in a pinch. Same goes for canned salmon. It's nutritious, filling, and easy to prepare. But don't sleep on some of the heartier options. Walmart's canned roast beef and pulled pork with barbecue sauce are game changers. These aren't just emergency foods, they're legitimately good. You can serve the roast beef with gravy over rice or mashed potatoes for a filling dinner that tastes like you actually cooked something. The pulled pork works great in sandwiches, tacos, or mixed with mac and cheese. During World War II, Spam literally kept people fed, and there's a reason it's still popular today. Vienna sausages are another underrated option. They're perfect for breakfast. Just slice them up and mix them with scrambled eggs. They're small, they're protein-packed, and kids often love them, which makes them valuable for family preparedness. And don't forget about the spreads. Deviled ham and chicken spread might not sound glamorous, but they're incredibly convenient. Slap some on bread or a flatbread, and you've got a quick protein-rich meal in under a minute. When you're dealing with a power outage or you're just exhausted from a long day, these spreads are lifesavers. Moving on to vegetables, this is where you add nutrition and variety to your stored meals. Canned corn, peas, green beans, spinach, and potatoes are all excellent choices that last for years and work as side dishes or ingredients in larger meals. Canned potatoes deserve special attention because they're so versatile. You can mash them, roast them, add them to stews, or fry them up for breakfast.
Yes, dehydrated potatoes and instant hash browns exist, but canned potatoes require zero additional prep. You open the can, heat them up if you want, and you're done. When you're in an emergency situation without reliable power or water, that convenience matters. For fruits, canned peaches and pears are your best friends. They're sweet, they're satisfying, and they work for snacks, desserts, or even breakfast. You can also can your own fruits at home if you want to control the ingredients and save money. Home canned fruits often taste fresher and can be customized to your family's preferences, but Store-bought works perfectly fine too. Beans are non-negotiable for food storage. Canned beans give you protein, fiber, and versatility without the hassle of soaking and cooking dried beans for hours. Black beans, refried beans, and varieties with added bacon, beef, or chicken all have their place. Yes, dried beans are cheaper, but they require time, water, and fuel to prepare. In an emergency, you want options that are quick and easy. Canned beans deliver that. Now, let's talk about some supporting players that round out your pantry. Evaporated milk and condensed milk are incredibly useful for cooking and baking. Evaporated milk works great in macaroni and cheese, soups, and as a milk substitute in recipes. Condensed milk is sweeter and perfect for desserts. Both have long shelf lives and don't require refrigeration until opened. Chicken broth might not seem essential, but having a few cans on hand can be invaluable. It's the base for soups, stews, and sauces, and it turns boring rice into something flavorful. You might not use it every day, but when you need it, you really need it. Canned soups are convenient for quick meals, especially the chunky varieties that are more filling. The downside is they tend to have a shorter shelf life compared to other canned goods, so keep an eye on the dates. You can stretch them further by mixing them with rice, pasta, or extra vegetables to make them more substantial. And here's a fun tip. Occasionally you'll come across unique canned foods like chicken bologna or other specialty items. Don't be afraid to experiment. Pick up something random, try it, and see if it fits your needs. You might discover a new favorite, and at worst, you're out a couple bucks. This keeps your food storage interesting instead of boring and repetitive. Now that you know what to buy, let's talk about the mistakes that ruin people's food storage plans. The biggest one? Buying foods you don't like. I see this constantly. Someone reads an article that says, you must have canned beets, so they buy 10 cans of beets even though they hate beets. Then those cans sit there for 5 years until they get thrown away. Don't do this. There's no food storage police checking your pantry. If you hate something, don't store it. The second mistake is ignoring the condition of your cans. Yes, canned foods last a long time, but that doesn't mean you can ignore them completely. Regularly check for damage, rust, and bulging lids. These are signs that something's wrong, and eating compromised food can make you seriously ill. A dented can isn't automatically dangerous, but it should be moved up in your rotation and used soon. The third mistake is forgetting to rotate your stock. This ties back to the first in, first out system we talked about earlier. If you don't rotate, you'll end up with a pantry full of expired food that you have to throw away. Make rotation a habit, not something you think about once a year. Here's something most preppers won't tell you. Food storage isn't just for earthquakes and hurricanes. It's for everyday life. Job loss, unexpected medical expenses, busy weeks where you don't have time to shop. All of these situations become easier when you have a well-stocked pantry. By regularly using your canned goods in normal meal planning, you ensure your food storage stays relevant and useful. And let's talk about the financial side for a second. Canned foods are often more affordable than fresh or frozen options, especially when you buy in bulk or catch sales. They don't require refrigeration, so you're not using electricity to keep them preserved. They're easy to transport if you need to move or evacuate, and they can be prepared with minimal effort, which saves time and energy. For families, individuals, or anyone trying to simplify meal planning, canned foods just make sense. Let me give you some quick meal ideas to show you how practical this really is. Take Spam and add it to mac and cheese. Suddenly you've got a protein-packed meal instead of just carbs. Slice Vienna sausages into scrambled eggs for a hearty breakfast. Serve canned roast beef with gravy over rice for a filling dinner that takes 10 minutes. Make deviled ham spread sandwiches for lunch. Use canned beans as the base for tacos, burritos, or nachos. These aren't survival rations. These are real meals that taste good. And here's something important, especially for stressful situations. Familiar comfort foods make a huge difference psychologically. When everything feels chaotic and uncertain, being able to eat something you actually enjoy provides a sense of normalcy. That's why you should stock canned versions of your family's favorite meals. It's not just about nutrition, it's about mental health and morale. Make food storage a family activity. Get input from everyone in your household about what they like and don't like. If your kids hate canned green beans but love canned corn, guess what you should stock more of? If your spouse can't stand Spam but loves canned chicken, adjust accordingly. There's no universal right answer here, only what works for your specific family. You can even teach your kids about food storage and get them involved in organizing and rotating the pantry. This gives them valuable life skills and helps them feel more secure and prepared.
When kids understand that your family has food stored away for emergencies, it reduces their anxiety about what-if scenarios. If you want to take your food storage to the next level, consider home canning. This lets you preserve your favorite fruits, vegetables, and even meats exactly the way your family likes them. It's more involved than buying canned goods, but it gives you complete control over ingredients and flavors. Plus, home canned foods often taste better than store-bought versions. Storage conditions matter too. Keep your canned foods in a cool, dry place away from humidity and temperature fluctuations. Heat and moisture can accelerate spoilage and cause cans to rust. A basement or interior closet usually works better than a garage that gets hot in summer and cold in winter.
Remember, building a practical food storage pantry isn't about hoarding or paranoia. It's about creating security and peace of mind for you and your family. It's about being ready for job loss, medical emergencies, natural disasters, or just those weeks when life gets overwhelming and you need easy meals. By focusing on foods you actually eat, rotating your stock regularly, and staying open to trying new options, you create a pantry that's ready for whatever life throws at you. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here. Your pantry should reflect your family's needs, preferences, dietary restrictions, and lifestyle. Someone who loves seafood will stock different items than someone who prefers beef. A family with young kids will prioritize different foods than a single adult. That's completely fine. Customize your storage to work for you, not for some generic prepper checklist. The key is to start now, start small, and build gradually. You don't need to buy 50 cans of everything tomorrow. Pick up a few extra cans each time you shop. Try new products. Figure out what your family likes. Rotate your stock. Check your cans regularly. Make it a habit, not a one-time project. So there you have it, the complete guide to building a canned food pantry that actually works. Remember, inspect regularly, rotate consistently, and only store what you'll genuinely eat. What's your favorite canned food for emergency storage? Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear what's working for you. And if you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to Essential Pantry for more practical food storage tips. Until next time, stay prepared and stay eating well.